Hello, Steve Greene here with your SAT test prep concept. Today I'm going to talk about plugging in. Plugging in is one of our core math strategies. Typically, plugging in is used when you have a problem that contains variables. So let's talk about that. If you see a math problem and your list A, B, C, D, E contains variables, you want to think plug in. Or you may have variables in your actual problem. There are some exceptions where you can actually plug in non-variable problems, which we can discuss in a different lesson. Here's the essential idea. Step one, recognize that you need to plug in. How? By seeing variables typically in the answers or in the original problem. Step two, replace the variables with your own numbers. There's a little bit of a science here, there's a little bit of an art. Typically the concept is to pick numbers that make it easier. Occasionally you're going to get a situation where you can't pick 2 or 3, you've got to pick other numbers. Example, a percentage sort of problem where you may want to pick 100 because that's easier to work with percentages. But in any case, the basic idea is to pick numbers that make it easy. Step 3, do the problem with your numbers. Pick numbers that make it easy, then execute the problem and get an answer, which I call the matching value or the match. Step 4, take your values, plug them into the answer list, take your matching value, take the list. That typically would give you the answer. Occasionally, you may not eliminate 4 and get your answer. You may have to run the system again, but that's essentially how it works. So our core lesson here is math strategy called plugging in. Replace your variables in the problem with your own numbers. Run the problem that way. Practice it. Typically, plugging in will get you 3 or 4 or 5 more questions right out of the 54 questions on the math section. I'm Stephen Greene. Let me know if this was helpful to you and where we can go from here. Thank you.